Hey friends, Cold Brew Chick here. You know, it's officially September, which means it's officially pumpkin season. Big fan. And it also means the return of pumpkin cold brews. Now, Starbucks released theirs pretty quickly, but what I've also noticed is that some other pumpkin cold brews have come into the mix. And, you know, I couldn't help but wonder, how do these cold brews compare to Starbucks? Are they better? Are they worse? You know, there's really only one way to find out. So we're gonna do just that. We're gonna go try out these cold brews and compare and see who has the best pumpkin cold brew. So we'll go to Starbucks first, get our original, right, our main comparison, and then we're gonna head to Dunkin' Donuts, Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, and Peet's Coffee to try their pumpkin cold brews and see who has the best one. And then after we drink them all, we're gonna head to the gym, because that just sounds like a great idea. Let's go. Here we have the OG, the Starbucks pumpkin cream cold brew. It's already starting to melt, but usually, you know, it's just like the cold brew, and then you have the pumpkin foam here on top. It's very popular. I've seen it all over social media, even on my personal Instagram. Yeah, I mean, that pumpkin foam on top is so good. It's super sweet. It's like, I mean, for some reason, Starbucks just has the best whipped cream. It's very reminiscent of that. But the cold brew, you know, they do a pretty good job of giving the cold brew like just enough sweetness, but still letting you taste the cold brew. This is more of a pumpkin cold brew versus a pumpkin spice cold brew. That being said, it's very approachable. It's not too sweet, and just overall has a great flavor and a great balance. Is it the best one? I mean, to be determined, we will see, but it's pretty dang tasty and it's pretty dang good. I would have this even though it's pretty sweet. My go-to Starbucks pumpkin order is not this. I usually do just a black cold brew nitro if they have it, and then I'll do 1 pump of the pumpkin sauce and 1 pump of sugar-free vanilla. So you still get the pumpkin flavor, but not as much sugar. I don't know if they make this in alternative milk options. That's the other downside. It might just be the dairy version. So if you're lactose intolerant or vegan, you may not be able to enjoy this. But it is pretty tasty. I can see the hype, especially the whipped cream foam part is really good. Alright, so this is the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf Pumpkin Spice Cold Brew. I don't really come to Coffee Bean ever. I should though, because their ice is so much fun. It's a little really ones, and then they got this purple straw here. It's a cool coffee shop. Yeah, I should come here more often. Anyway, this is a pumpkin spice cold brew. This one, it's really cool what they did. They poured the coffee and they poured like a pumpkin like syrup, and then they whisked it together. So it's really combined, poured it into a cup, a little smidgen of milk, and that was it. So it's pretty simple. I like that they whisked the syrup and the cold brew together, because a lot of times you go to a coffee shop, they like pump the syrup at the bottom of your cup and then just pour the coffee, and that's it. So they really made sure that the two were incorporated, which I appreciate. Let's give it a go. So, you know, there's pumpkin and then there's pumpkin spice, right? Pumpkin spice, you're gonna really get the cinnamon, the nutmeg, some cloves, right? It's a little bit different from just like pumpkin. And some people really like it and some people don't. They just want pumpkin. This is very much a pumpkin spice cold brew. And if you like spice, then this is one that you will really enjoy. I like it a lot. I like the spice. I think it's different. I like that it's not too sweet. It's just the perfect amount of sweetness to have it be like a little bit of a treat. You can still kind of taste the cold brew there, but I just more so just like the spiciness that's going on. You know, it's pumpkin spice, not spicy. And the nice thing too is that if you didn't want the milk, it's very easy to just not get it. It doesn't really do anything for the cold brew, so you probably don't need it, but overall, I am a fan. I mean, fun ice, purple straws, delicious cold brew. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so here we have the Peet's pumpkin cold brew, and essentially what this one is just their brandy regular cold brew, and then they add an oat milk pumpkin spice microfoam on the top, and that's it. So a pro of that is that it took maybe 5 seconds to get my drink. The guy literally just poured cold brew, did a little whipped cream dollop of that stuff, and then my drink was ready to go. So that was really cool. But as you can see, it's already melted into my drink. It took me maybe a minute to walk back to my car, and granted, it is a hot day. But yeah, by the time I got back to my car, the foam is pretty much in my drink, which I'm a little bummed about because I wanted to try the foam just as it was, but oh well. Good to know if you get this, you want to try the foam really quick. But let's go ahead and let's just try it. Huh. You know, I like this because it's not sickeningly sweet. It's a very mild, pleasant, spicy, not spicy, but pumpkin spice flavor. And I can still taste the coffee, which I like. That being said, it might be a little bit too mild for some of you. If you really want that strong, sweet pumpkin flavor, you might think this isn't enough. For me though, I do like it. I like that it's mild. I can still taste the cold brew. It actually might be a little too mild. Maybe I would want a little bit more pumpkin, not necessarily more sweetness though. But overall, I actually really like it. And I like the fact too that they used oat milk. So that way if you're vegan or if you're lactose intolerant, you can drink this with no problems. So, not too shabby, Peets. Alright, so this is the Dunkin one. I can already tell this one's gonna be a sugar bomb. Pretty much what this one has is it's their cold brew, which they say is steeped for 12 hours. Then they add the pumpkin spice like flavor shot, which you would think is just a syrup. It actually has some like milk in it too. And then they add this pumpkin foam, which I saw that came like out of a whipped cream carton. And then they top it with cinnamon sugar. So like I said, probably a sugar bomb. I'm already gonna guess I'm not gonna like it. I think it's gonna be too sweet, but hey, there's only one way to find out, so. Oh. So, not as sweet as I thought it was gonna be. Whoa. The cinnamon sugar is. But the actual coffee itself isn't that sweet. It looks like it would be, right? But it's actually not. But then it's also not very like pumpkin-y either. It just kind of tastes like diluted cold brew. There's no strong flavor to it. Ooh, traffic. The topping itself, actually I'm gonna pop this open so you can try the topping a little bit better. The topping's good. That tastes like pumpkin, that's for sure. Yeah, the topping's fine, but again, we don't drink cold brews for toppings, right? We drink cold brew for cold brew. So I would rather the cold brew have more pumpkin flavor to it. I would even argue that the Peet's one had more pumpkin flavor than this one. So, not that impressed. Then again, I really never am with Dunkin. I hate their donuts, and I don't really like their cold brew. But A for effort. I'm glad to see that they gave an offering. That's good. And what was interesting too is, if you saw, their cold brew now comes in taps, which is kind of fancy. So, yeah. So yeah, that's Dunkin. You have got to be kidding me. Just another reason to hate Dunkin' Donuts. So we are home from our pumpkin cold brew extravaganza, which is the best one. My personal favorite was the coffee bean and tea leaf one. I just was so impressed and really turned on by that spice that it had. It's definitely the spiciest of the four. That being said, if you're more of a pumpkin person, you may not like it. I think most people, if they were to try all four, would still prefer the Starbucks one just because it's a great balance of the pumpkin and coffee, and the foam on top is just so dang tasty. I mean, it's Starbucks with cream. It's like a treat. That being said, don't bother with the Dunkin' one. It's just not worth it. But I recommend trying out all the other three. They're all great. Even the Peet's one I would drink again for sure, and pick the one that's best for you.